What's up, everyone? So welcome back to Alta Lifestyles. Today we are doing something very exciting. I have eggs in the incubator, so today is day 6, I do believe. So I'm going to show you what eggs look like at day 6 and how you can tell between failed and fertilized eggs. So stay tuned and hopefully this works. And if you guys do have any questions, please let me know. I do plan on doing more candling, that's what it's called, probably on day 10 and then day 15 and then day 18, because day 18 is lockdown and that's when we don't interrupt the eggs and don't peak. Okay, so I originally put 53 eggs in, and I only have about 7 eggs for sure that were not fertilized, so that's actually pretty good. As you can see from the video, I do have a couple of double yolks in there. I actually have 3 of them, and they are actually all fertilized. Now, I'm going to be honest, the chances of double yolks actually hatching is pretty rare. I've heard it being done. I haven't personally done it. I've almost, except my last one, something went wrong at like, I say day 20, maybe 19. And they never hatched, unfortunately, but they're fully feathered. I do have pictures, but I think they're a little too graphic for some, but I will keep you guys updated on my 3 double yolks because I'm pretty excited. I have nothing that shows like a blood ring, but probably closer to day 15 there might be some blood rings. I'll point those out to you guys so that way you have a better understanding of what you see in your eggs. Now the other thing is blue eggs and like really dark eggs, for example like black copper marrons, are going to be tricky to see inside. For those I recommend leaving, like if there's any eggs in question, whether it's dark eggs or light colored eggs, leave them in the incubator until like day 15 and then discard them, because that will definitely rule out if they're just late, maybe if you overlook something. So definitely leave them in the incubator for a while. Alright everybody, so I apologize if you hear any baby chicks. I do have quite a few in the room right now. I'll go into details about why I do. But anyways, so we are going to briefly describe how I set up my Brinsea Ovation 56 incubator and how I think you should set up yours. Now keep in mind, my preferences are versus yours is totally up to you. But this has been working for me since like December, like November, December. So I'm just sharing what works best for me. So definitely keep that in mind when you are doing yours. But let's take a peek. Okay, so this is my Brinsea Ovation 56. Now keep in mind, I do have eggs in here, as you guys can see from the previous little clip that I did about checking eggs. So if you're ever curious if your turn system is working, you're going to hit this and the negative button together, and it's going to turn the egg turner. I'm not going to do that right now just because mine is set up automatically, so, but that's just something to keep in mind. My temperature is at 37.6. It kind of fluctuates 0.1 of a degree, so it will be 37.6, 37.7, so you can see there. My humidity is 53%. Now, you want to keep it anywhere from 40 to 50%. I'm just a little bit over, and that's personal preference, but I do recommend don't go over like 53% just because bacteria growth can begin to grow at a higher humidity rate, so that is something to definitely keep in mind. This model has the water tube, so it actually does everything automatically. As you can see here, this is turning, and then the water feeds to here and then drops down. I have everything in a bottle, like I have the water in the bottle with just the water cords, so that has made life so much easier that I don't have to constantly worry about my water. I just fill it up. So the other thing about the Brinsea is it does have a vent here that you can open and close depending if you want more heat, less heat escaping. I keep it closed. Again, that's personal preference and it's totally up to you depending on where your Brinsea is set up. So to enter the menu, you're going to hit the plus and the negative button together, and that's going to unlock it. So your first one is the temperature, right, so I keep mine at 37.6. Your RH is relative humidity, and that's what's pulling the water. So that's what you want the inside of your incubator to be. So again, you can choose, right now it's set at 55, but like I said, it's at 53, and mine seems to run 2% lower, so you kind of have to play with it and, you know, figure your own out. Your T mode is your turn modes. That's the trays that turn. You leave it on, right? So mode is on. You leave it on until day 18, and that's considered lockdown. And then that's when you would shut it off. Like, that's when you would turn off the turn mode, so these don't turn, and then you would take out the eggs and then lay them in the bottom. But we'll go through that. Turn intervals. So mine turn every 45 minutes. You can pick and choose how long you want yours to turn. It's totally optional, but I just leave it at default. The alarm high, I actually don't have this set up. I really should, but for right now I don't. But you can set, so if your alarm, or sorry, if your heat goes above, say, 37.8, it's going to sound an alarm, so that's always a good. Alarm low, so if your temperature ever goes below, say, 37 degrees, it's going to sound an alarm and alert you that you need to fix something. Cooling, I keep this off for my chicken eggs, but when you do duck eggs, you do have to have I think a 30-minute interval of cooling each day, so we will touch on that when I do duck eggs. CF is Celsius Fahrenheit, mine is in Celsius, and then save any functions that you've done or cancel if you don't want to save those settings, right? So that brings us back to this, and yeah, so that's basically what I have mine at. When it comes to cleaning, I do blow air through this line just to get rid of any gunk or any buildup, because we do use well water. And then, so I will candle again on day 10 and 15 or something like that. Day 18 comes, you're going to take out these black trays, right? I will go through that, but you're going to lay the eggs in the bottom. I put paper towel down. That's my preference. It's just so the chicks, when they hatch, they don't slip and slide and end up with spray legs or injuries and whatnot. So you can do paper towel, you can do those rubber mats you get like a dollar store or Dollar Save or Dollar Tree or whatever, Walmart. That's totally up to you, but it's a good idea to have something on the bottom so they don't slip and slide everywhere. And then cleaning is super easy. There's literally 8 screws that hold this little plastic cover underneath on. You take it out. I take a can of compressed air and just blow everything out, just because once the chicks hatch, they do get, you know, little feather hairs and whatnot everywhere, so I'll go through that of how to clean. It's pretty straightforward. I do have to say, make sure your power cord is in all the way, like give it a good hard push, and make sure you kind of feel and hear that little click, or else it could fall out, and that's a bad thing. These are my black copper marron ones, so these 2 rows, and then everything from this row over is actually all of my eggs. I do have some double yolks in there, as you can see. So this one's a double, that one's a double, and there's actually double under there. That's kind of hard to see, but they're all fertilized, and they're all taking, in the video you can see. That doesn't mean that they're definitely going to hatch and stay viable all the way to hatch day of day 21. There's so many things that play into the factor. Doubles are hard to incubate. I keep trying just because I'm kind of curious, and it would be cool to actually share and say I've actually done it. So to have 3 that have both, like to have 3 to have taken and be fertilized is super exciting, and I'm like really looking forward to this. But that's how I have my incubator set up. So if you do have any questions regarding how to set yours up and what you can and cannot do, or what you should do different, let me know and I'll be happy to help. One thing I do want to mention is your humidity is a key thing. Fluctuating humidities can lead to many eggs failing. As you've seen me say, is the HHD incubator worth it? If you haven't seen that video, I'll post a link in the comments. But the humidity plays a big role, and that's something I think people forget or overlook. So that's something to look at. If your incubator does not have a humidity gauge, I recommend getting one you can toss in there, or like an external one that you can kind of like pop through a hole or something. But definitely you need to know the humidity. It will make life so much easier, and it'll definitely help with incubating. So I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.